Do you hear any background noises? Or- Okay, good. Um, okay. 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 I नहीं ले चलेगा. Hello, hi everyone. My name is Parthvi Vala. I can't really see who has joined, but I would like to know you guys. So maybe you can put your name in the comment section and we can get started. Right, so I guess we will start. It's 4 now. Fine, I'll introduce myself. My name is Parthvi Vala. I graduated from GEC Bhavnagar in 2017 with a degree in computer engineering. I currently work as a quality engineer at this software company called Red Hat. Um, I have I have been a Google Summer of Code participant for the year 2017, and yeah. So today in this session, I'll be talking about open source contributions, open source internships such as GSoC, Outreachy, GSoC, etc. And we can also talk a little bit about quality engineering if you guys are interested, since that is what I'm currently working on. And I'm a big Harry Potter fan. So in case anyone of you want to discuss, I'll be happy to do that. All right. So I guess we'll get started. Right. So you must have heard a lot about internships such as Google Summer of Code, Outreachy, Rails Girls Summer of Code, Zulip Summer of Code. I mean, we have a lot of alumni who have been a part of these programs. So what really are these programs? So these are mainly just summer internships, but they are organized in order to welcome newbies to the world of open source, to give them a real world experience of what it is like to work on a project, and you also get paid for it. So it's a paid internship. Now, I'm not sure how many of you know what open source is. So let me just go ahead and tell you what is open source and why does it not really mean that it is a free software. So when someone says that their project is open source, it means that the code of their product is freely available for anyone to use, and you can take that code, you can fix something if you if you think it needs to be fixed, or you can modify it and work on it. But that does not necessarily mean that the person who has open sourced their code would let you use their product for free. For example, if I talk about Red Hat is based on an open source business model, which means that each and every product of Red Hat, you can see its code openly available on GitHub or GitLab. So you can just go there and see how the code is written and how the project is built, but you will not be able to use their product for free. Sure, for Red Hat, for every product, they do give a free version to use, but they wouldn't provide you a support whenever you are stuck somewhere. But, right. So that is mainly what open source is about. The code is freely available to use, but the copyright still remains with the creator, with the person who has started the project. But yeah, it's okay for you to use and modify it and release it as your own product. If you have any questions at this point, you can ask me. And if I am going really fast, do let me know. I can slow down a bit. Okay. I guess there are no questions, so we'll just continue. So, before I get into open source internships and contributions, I think you would like to know what is the benefit of participating in the internships and contributing to open source, right? Like, why would someone do it if there was no benefit in doing it? I can list out a few things, a few benefits of participating in these programs and contributing to open source. The first and foremost is you get a chance to work on a real world project. You get to connect with a lot of good programmers, and since the code is open, you get a chance to showcase your skills. You can just give someone a link to your GitHub profile, and that will show how good of a programmer you are. It can also help you with job hunts. If let's say if you're participating in these internships, it will benefit you a lot when when you are looking for a job, or when you are going for an interview. Because nowadays what really happens is, anytime you're in an interview, what they want to see what sort of code you write, what sort of programmer you are, and the first thing they do is go to your GitHub profile and check all the projects that you've worked on. It would give them an idea of whether you would fit into their project and organization or not. Excuse me. Yeah, so it helps you build a profile. It looks good on your resume, and yeah, so those are if the benefits of participating in open source. if you would like to know about some examples of open source code, then I think you all must have been looking at covid19india.org. It's the website where you can see, you can track count of the coronavirus cases that has been going on. So that is an open source project. If you go on GitHub, you'll be able to see all the code available there. It will give you a chance to work on a real-time project and contribute to it. Another good example is you all know that NASA was able to capture the first image of Mars. That happened, I think, last year or maybe a year before that. That code is also openly available on GitHub. So maybe you can just go there and see what sort of code and what all went into capturing that first image of Mars. I mean, sure, maybe not all of the code would be openly available, but you would get the idea of it. Then the other one was, if you remember, there was a flood in Kerala in 2018. So there was this website set up called Kerala Rescue, where you could, donate a few money and help people that were stranded in Kerala. That was also, again, an open source project. So you could so if you were not able to contribute via money, you could contribute to the project, you could make it better. And, that would have helped someone. There are few big companies such as Google, Yahoo, Microsoft that also have some of their code that is open source. Like if you go on GitHub and look for Facebook, Google, Microsoft, Red Hat, you'll be able to see a lot of projects that are open source. All right. So I think I've already gone through what is the benefits of participating into open source internships like these. Now, I can tell you how participating in one of these programs has helped me. I think I was one of the first people to participate in GSoC or Outreachy program like this from our college. But I think that has benefited me a lot. It helped me get an internship at this really good company. It helped me secure really good position at this company. It has helped me connect with a lot of new people. It also helped me inspire my fellow classmates and my juniors who participated in it and are doing really well in their careers right now. Yeah. Okay, any questions till now? What is API? Okay, I don't think that is relevant to this session. API, I think you could just Google search it and you'll be able to know what API is. Hi. Any other questions? Okay, I guess. Okay. All right, I'll just continue. Now, how do you participate in these programs? Let's say so these participating in these programs is not like you just give an interview and they select you. It is a few months long procedure where okay, I'll go by GSoC since I have the most experience with participating in GSoC. So Google Summer of Code is an open source internship that is organized by Google. They organize it every year. You don't get to directly work with Google, but but there are a lot of open source organizations out there that participate in this program, and they hire a bunch of people to work on their projects. But you get a certificate from Google. You are paid by Google. Google is just a handler, but you get to work with a lot of organizations. So every year, this program is organized. The first thing you can do is, find an organization that interests you, that you think you'll enjoy working on. Next, you have to find a project that you would be willing to work on or that matches your skill set. Let's say you are good with Python and Django, and you would like to enhance your skills working on a project that is built in Python and Django. So you look for a project that is that matches your skill set. You communicate with the members of the organization, maybe via Slack, or there are a lot of whatever communication channel that they are using. Once you introduce yourself, you have to make a contribution. You have to maybe fix a bug, or maybe contribute in a way that make at least one contribution to the project. Once you're done with that, you have to create a proposal on how you will tackle the project. Let's say the project that I worked on was to integrate mobile phone registration on the platform. The organization I worked with was Cadastra, and the project was to integrate phone registration on that platform. So what I had to do was, once I was done with my initial contribution, I had to start making a proposal where I would talk about what libraries would I be using, in what steps I would be tackling this project, the timeline of the project, at what time would I do what, and all the things, all sorts of things. Once you make the proposal, you submit the proposal, and the organization, they judge you on the basis of proposal that you have created, and they judge on the basis of it. And if they think that you would be a good fit for the project, they hire you, and then you get to work on this 3-month-long internship where you are So right now, what are some of the projects that we can work via GSoC? Which languages or framework are required to know? All right, Vatsal. So with GSoC, there are a lot of open source organizations out there. If I give an example, there is Linux kernel. Red Hat is one of the open source organizations, so it participates in these programs with the different projects that it has. For example, OpenStack, Mozilla Firefox, Mozilla, they participate in this program. There are a lot of, I think there are more than 100 and 200 of organizations that participate in these programs. I'll share the link with you so that you can see the organization that participated this year. It will give you an idea of when you want to contribute or when you want to participate into it the next year. Languages, you will find every language that you can think of, every language that has been trending right now, you will find languages from C, C++, Python, JavaScript, Node.js, and whatever you can think of. So it is a really good opportunity to work on a real-time project, develop your skills. Any other questions? Okay. All right. So if you don't have questions at this point, I'll go ahead. So one of the main things that I experienced by participating in this program, or something that helped me get into this program. So see, this program, you can say it is kind of prestigious because people from all over the world participate in this program, and you have to compete with all those people to get into these programs. I tried to get into it for 2 or 3 years, and I got into it into my last year of engineering. I started preparing for this. It's not difficult to get into it. It's just that it takes a lot of time to get into to understand the whole procedure. It took me 2 to 3 years, but it could only take you one try to participate into it and get selected into it. But one of the few things that I learned while contributing and during the whole participation process is you have to be willing to be mentorable, like people mentorable or teachable. You should have that attitude. Like it should be easy to teach you or mentor you. Let's say you have a problem. and you come to me with the problem in you want to get solved, but you need to make sure that you have done your homework, you have done everything that is possible for possible uh, before coming to me to with the problem. So you should have a teachable or mentorable attitude. You should be willing to help your fellow participants. It should not, even though it's a competition, you should not have this attitude that I will not help my fellow participants if they're stuck with a problem. You should be willing to help, because that is what open source is about. It is about helping people. You should be transparent. It is not like if you found a solution, you keep it a secret. Maybe you tell people about it and you could come up with even a better solution. So it is also about keeping right attitude while participating in these programs or while contributing to open source. um, Other than that, I can so I think I'm done with what I wanted to say about open source internships and contributions. GitHub is one of the best sites where you could go and search for open source, search for projects that you want to contribute to. I'll share a link. I'll share a few links later that can help you, and you can also reach out to Himadri or Yashashvi. They have been, they've also been participants of these programs. There might be other people, but I'm really not. I don't know them, but yeah, you could reach out to Himadri and Yashashvi if you wanted help with these, and also me. Yeah. Okay. All right. So uh, I want to talk. I also want to talk about why you should about attending conferences and meetups and workshops. So I listened to Vatsal's session, and he said that he used to go to Ahmedabad every weekend just to participate in meetups. And I think it helped him a lot. It helped him, get an internship. Helped him go work with this with Intel education, and it also it also helped him land a job at this really good company. So you never know when you would find something good by attending these conferences or meetups or workshops, when you would meet someone nice. I remember Himadri attended this conference in Europe, and she got to meet with Linus Torvalds, the guy who, he was the creator of Linux kernel. So participating and I attended a lot of conferences and meetups and workshops when I was in college. Even if you don't understand what's going on at the conference, you would get a little bit of idea of what is going on in the real world, what is the trending technology that you could work on. You might get a little bit intimidated by all that has been going on, but trust me, that is a good thing. It will help you push even further in your career. It will give you a little bit of push. You will connect with a lot of people, which would help you when you are looking for a job or when you're looking for an interview. So if you get a chance, do attend a lot of conferences and meetups and workshops. And since you guys are in college, it shouldn't. There are a lot of scholarships for student. There are student scholarships that you could apply to, in case you're not able to, in case you don't want to invest money into going into these conferences and meetups and everything. But I think it's a really, really good opportunity for you to communicate and network with people. Let's say you are, so yeah, attending these, it keeps you on edge. So yeah, there is that. Okay, Keshwani Ishita has a question from where you got to know about GSoC first. All right, yeah. Okay, that is a good question. So, you guys should keep asking me questions, because I think I'll be able to, it will be easier to answer them instead of just me talking. So during our second year, we met this guy called Dharmit Shah. I think many of you might be knowing him. He used to teach us Python. So he used to take these Python workshops, Python and Linux workshops on weekend. He used to work at Red Hat, and he was very familiar with the whole open source world. So he was the first that was the first time I heard about GSoC. He told us that there is this program, and GSoC is specifically for students. Like if you are a full-time associate, you cannot participate in GSoC. You have to be a student if you want to participate in programs such as GSoC or GSoC or Outreachy. Right. So that is where I heard for the first time. I heard about it in my second year of college, and I was like, yes, I want to apply to it because the money they paid was good, and it gave me an opportunity to work on a real-time project. I know I've been saying real-time a lot, but it actually helps if you, contribute to such projects. Yeah, so in my second year, I heard about it. Then I wanted to participate into it, but the first 2 years, I wasn't very serious about it. I selected this project, which was way beyond my skill set. I was looking to contribute to OpenStack, which was a little difficult if you are a newbie, or maybe if you're not very familiar with the whole cloud technologies. So the main mistake I made was I selected a project that was far beyond my reach or far beyond my skill set. The third time I participated, I make sure I selected a project that I thought I could work on, that was interesting, that I understood. So anytime you're participating in these internships, make sure that you select a project that you find interesting or that you think you'll be interested to work on. Don't just select a project because it's cool. Because yeah. So yeah, the third time I participated, I selected a project that I thought I could work on, that I thought was achievable. Like that's my attitude. But if you think you want to go for a difficult project, by all means, you can go for it. Yeah. So that is how I heard about it. How is GSoC experience relevant in real job like Red Hat? All right. So during GSoC, I worked on this project that was built in Python and Django. I had to learn, since it was an open source project, I had to learn a lot of Git. I was familiar with Git, but not, not the deep ends of Git. So when I worked on this project, GSoC project, I learned a lot about Python. I learned a lot about testing using this framework called PyTest. PyTest is used when you want to automate test cases in Python. So I got an experience to work with PyTest. I got a hands-on experience of Django and a lot of other stuff. I got to work with people who were not in the same time zone as me, were not living in the same country as me. The project that I worked, the organization that I worked with, it hardly had 25 people, and everyone was located in a different country. So it helped me, connect with people from different country to get to know about them. Yeah, so that is a side talk, but technically, yeah, it helped me learn a lot about Git and Python and testing. I do a lot of testing in my current job profile. So when I interviewed for this, they looked at the, so I told you that this project was open source. So all the code that I did was openly available on GitHub. So when I interviewed for Red Hat, the first thing they did was check my GitHub profile and see what work that I had done in Karasta. I had done a lot of testing there. I had used a lot of PyTest. So they knew that if they hired me, I would be easily able to grasp what they were working on. My skill sets matched the job profile that they were looking for. So yeah, I can say that GSoC experience was very, very relevant when I got a job at Red Hat, because I didn't really have an experience of working on a real-time project before I worked on GSoC. So GSoC has changed my life, if I put it that way. Jeel Nathani, with what kind of internship a beginner should start? So that is what I'm talking about. The GSoC, Outreachy, RGSoC, Zulip Summer of Code. These are internships which people organize so that it helps a beginner get started with, open source, or get started with working on a real-time project. So in our college, I don't think we do a lot of internships like they do in other colleges. It's not compulsion. I wish it was a compulsion, but it's not. So you can I'll talk a bit about all these internships. If you're a beginner, you all you need. So GSoC is organized by Google and it is open for everyone to participate it, regardless of whether you are a male or female. But if you look at Outreachy, they specifically target participants. I mean, if you are a female or if you are from one of the underrepresented communities, you can participate. If you are a male, you cannot. I'm sorry, guys, you cannot. There is RGSoC, Rails Girls Summer of Code, where you participate with another teammate. So you participate in team, and you have to find a mentor. The organizations would be available on the website of RGSoC. Like, you will be able to see what organizations are participating, but you will have to select a person that you would like to work with. Since you'll have to work in a pair, and you'll also have to find a mentor that would help you whenever you are stuck. With GSoC and Outreachy, you get a mentor who's already working on the project, so you don't need to go out of your way and find the mentor. I am not so sure about Zulip Summer of Code because I've never participated, but Yashashvi has done twice, I think, so maybe you can ask her. But these internships, they are really good for beginners, and they are specifically, so if you have participated once in these internships, you cannot participate again, because that way it gives opportunity to more newbies and beginners. So if you're a beginner, you can definitely just go to it. I'll share a few articles that I wrote while I was preparing for this, while I was in the process of applying to these internships. I think they might be helpful to you. Keshwa Nishita, is there any difference between GSoC and Outreachy applying or working process? No, there is zero difference, apart from one, that GSoC is open for everyone and Outreachy is only limited to female and the people from underrepresented communities. But there is no difference in the procedure. So, Outreachy is organized twice a year. GSoC is only organized once a year, that is in summer. I think the internships might have started by now. The whole procedure begins from March. For GSoC and Outreachy usually run parallel for the summer internships. So you will see organizations, you will see the list of organizations by February, and then you can start selecting the project, and the whole procedure starts from Feb and March, and it goes until May. Yes. Okay. So Ishita, there is this detailed talk on Outreachy if you want to check out. Yeah. Himadri was an Outreachy. Oh, sorry. Himadri was an Outreachy participant, so she'll be able to help you there. All right. Any more questions? Okay, fine. We'll continue. So I work as a quality engineer, or you can say a tester is not the right term, but yeah, I do a lot of testing in my current job profile. So in case you guys are interested in knowing what goes into the job profile of a quality engineer, I'll be happy to answer those questions, because I think I've heard that people want to know about these things. So if you have any questions, you can just shoot. Okay, maybe I'll start what I do as a quality engineer, and then if you have any questions, you can ask me. So this is my first job, and I never thought it would be quality engineering. I always thought it would be, software development engineer. But yeah, so my internship was in quality engineering. What I do as a quality engineer is, you can say that a QE, a quality engineer, is the first customer of a product. So anytime a new version of my product comes in, I have to test it. I have to make sure that it is enterprise ready, that the customer will not face many problems or bugs with it. I have to make sure that it is easy for the customer to use. I do not know the code of the whole product, but that is the good part. Like I mean, that helps me think from a customer's perspective and test the whole thing. Now, we don't do a lot of manual testing. We more than 95% or 99% of our code is automated. So so in my day-to-day life, I usually code in Python and try to automate all the test cases, because you cannot manually test everything. Every 2 weeks a build comes in, right? So we have automated test cases for it, and yeah, anytime I see a bug, I file a bug, and anytime the bug is fixed in the new version, I have to verify it and make sure that it has been fixed and make sure that it doesn't break other things. All right, so there is a question: what job profiles you see at Red Hat other than QE and SDE? Um, Other than QE and SDE, technical support engineer, that is one of the most common, or one of the highly populated, I could say. There are a lot of technical support engineers you would find, since Red Hat does not charge for its product, it only charges for the support that it provides for the product. I told you Red Hat is based on an open source business model, which means its code is freely available to you. But if you want to use the whole product, the whole compiling and everything, to compile the code and make it into a product, that you would have to do on your own. But yeah, so anytime something breaks, you contact the support and they would help you fix the problem, or maybe file a bug on your behalf. So other than QE and SDE, technical profile includes technical support engineer. There is also this documentation team. Since the product is big, you need a good documentation where you can refer and see how to use the product. So documentation is also there. There are other financial teams like Hi, am I audible? Can you see me? I think I was lost in between. Okay. Okay, fine. So other than QA and SDE, I see a lot of technical support engineers. There is this documentation team. There are a few internal non-technical teams, but yeah, finance and so yeah. So I think that answers your question. Next question: can you categorize technical skills student learn during undergraduation with respect to industrial job profile? Can you categorize technical skills students? And okay, so uh, I don't know how to put this. Can you rephrase the question? I am not sure I understand it correctly. We'll go to the next question. Until then, how about getting job after GSoC? Do the same projects hire interns? Uh, it is it depends on the organization that you are working on. For example, the project that I was working on, I was hoping I would get hired within that organization after my internship ended, but there wasn't a lot of work involved, technical work involved there, that they could hire an intern to a full-time associate. So it depends on the project and organization that you are working on, but it definitely improves your chance of getting a job or internship in some other place by 100%. Like, it definitely helps you when you're looking for a job. Yes, that is what I've been telling. Do you believe that your GSOC experience improved your chances of getting hired? I think it definitely did. I think I wasn't I wasn't really a geeky person. I did want to do good with whatever I was doing. I did want to do good as a software developer or an engineer. But I think working on GSOC, really, I wasn't sure if I would get a job after my college. I was thinking of doing masters maybe, but I think participating in this GSOC really changed my career. I mean, it gave me a head start. It really help. I think participating in this was one of the main reasons that they hired me. I mean, apart from my other skills, I think that was also one of the reasons why my current company hired me, since it is an open source and they knew I had an open source experience. I had an experience on working with an open source project. So I think that was one of the main reasons that I got hired. So it definitely improves your chances. How can a students prepare for GSoC? All right. So I am pretty sure that every one of you must have at least one language that you are good at or one language that you find interesting, right? For me, it was Python, since I was learning Python from my second year. So, so to prepare, you should. I think it's a good idea if you know the basics of Git, because that will definitely help you when you are contributing. I mean, it's okay, you can learn it during the internship, since this internship is basically a learning experience. But I think it helps if you know a little bit about Git, if you are aware of the basics of the language that you want to work on. And yeah, so once you know that, you have to find a project that matches your skill set, and then you follow the whole procedure of participation and get into this internship. So there is not really checkpoints of preparing for GSoC, but I think if you have the right attitude, if you and at least basics, if you know the basics, you'll be able to get in. It's not that difficult. Can you briefly talk about the perks these summer of codes bring along, like attractive stipend and travel opportunities? Definitely. So travel. So if you are participating in GSoC, GSoC or Outreachy, the internship. It's a paid internship, so you do get paid, and in a really good amount. For my 3-month internship, they paid me about $2,200, which is approximately, I think, 1.5 or 2 lakh in INR. Outreachy pays a little more. It pays you about $5,500 for those 3-month internship. And if the organization that you're working on also provides you, scholarship for participating in conferences, it also gives you a travel opportunity. For example, Himadri, right? So she participated in Outreachy with this Linux kernel organization where she worked on their project, and then she got an opportunity to talk about her project in this. I forgot the name of the conference, but that was in Europe, and she got an opportunity to present there. And I think that was fully funded by the Linux organization, Linux Foundation organization. So. And not just that, you get to interact with people from different parts of the world. You get to learn from them. You get to learn from one of the best, programmers out there. You get to learn the right attitude, not the right attitude, I would say, but it definitely helps you. Yeah, I will keep it at that. Okay, is it true that after GSoC, participant who complete GSoC that get a chance? Okay, so. I won't say that is completely true, but yes, you do get this. So once you are done with GSoC, you do they send you this referral link, which you can use once to apply for an interview at Google. I had completely forgot about that. Thanks for reminding that, Ishita. But yes, so once you're done with GSoC, once the whole internship is over, they send you this link that you can use to apply for an interview. But that's just once. Yeah, you can do that. So you read it correctly, sure. That's true. Did you also get Google interview challenge from Google search? Do you really get Google interview from there? Okay, that's a good question. So it doesn't really have anything to do with GSoC or Outreachy, but Google, leaves Easter eggs somewhere on their browser. So while I was, working on this internship, I used to Google a lot about some of the technical terms. Let's say I don't know how to verify. Since I was working on this phone registration process, I had to make sure that I verified the phones were correct by sending OTP. So I had to search a lot on how to, verify OTP or what libraries to be used, or that's just an example. But yeah, so depending on the Google search that you do, Google randomly pops up this small icon. You click on it, and it converts into this whole challenge. So I've heard that if you complete the whole 5 levels of the challenge, you get an opportunity to internship or to get an interview or a job at Google. I've heard somewhere that depending on the searches, if it matches one of their job profiles, they would call you for an interview. Like if you're done with the, I think they call it the foo bar challenge. You can search for it. So you cannot participate into it, but if you are lucky and if your Google searches are lucky, you could just hit into the foo bar challenge on the way. Can first, second year students also apply for GSoC? Yes, if you are a student, if you are doing masters, or if you are affiliate, if you are a student of any university, doesn't matter first, second, third, fourth. If you're a student, you can definitely participate in the GSoC. But with GSoC, you can only participate twice. And if you have participated with GSoC, you cannot apply to Outreachy, since they want to give more and more chance to beginners. Because see, once you participate in these programs, it becomes easy for you to participate, you to contribute to a different project. You don't need as much help as you did before participating into it. So with GSoC, you can participate twice in GSoC, but if you have participated in GSoC, you cannot participate in Outreachy. I'm not sure about our GSoC and Julep Summer of Code, but yeah, so you can just participate. Do you believe with GSoC Outreachy programs, chances of getting visibility from recruiters of big companies like Google, Facebook, Microsoft increases? I am not really sure. I don't think so. Until and unless you have participated in a project that came under these organizations, I think I want to say no. I mean, let's say if you worked on a project that was by that was Facebook or Google. Let's say you worked on Kubernetes. You worked on Kubernetes during your open source project. Kubernetes is it's a Google's project. Yeah, I think if I'm correct, it is a project by Google. So that way you, if you contributed to open source, it helps you connect with a lot of Google developers, like people who are already working at Google. So in case you see an opportunity of working at Google, you could contact these people, people working at Google from the Kubernetes project, and maybe that would help you land an intern, land an interview at these companies. So not directly, you cannot get a direct visibility, but yes, I think it helps you give an indirect visibility. Yeah. Did that make sense, or should I put it some other way? Okay, for referrals. So you can connect them via LinkedIn, but there is one thing I wanted to point out. So I have also received LinkedIn connection requests from a few of my few of the people who are currently in GC, or maybe who have been in GC in the past. But anytime they send me a request, they just send me a request. They don't send. I don't know this person, so why would I connect with them? So anytime you send a request to someone unknown, someone that doesn't know you, make sure that you put a message why you are contacting them. Let's say you want to contact me to get an internship at Red Hat. So make sure that you put that in the message that you sent with the connection request. Like, do make sure that you are communicating why you want to connect with this person who doesn't know you. So if there is no message, I would definitely not respond to that request. I would just keep it as it is or decline it. So anytime you are contacting anyone, not just LinkedIn, and let's say you are contacting someone on Twitter or Facebook or any place, make sure that you are putting why you want to talk to them, why you're reaching out to them. So you can definitely connect to your alumni for referrals via maybe LinkedIn or Twitter or Facebook, whatever. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, I think I'm done with my content. If you want, okay, what advice will you give current students on utilizing their time in GEC? Right. Okay, so if I was given a chance to do my bachelor's again, I would definitely do it differently than what I did in my, my time at GEC. So if you are currently a student at GEC, try to make sure that you attend as many conferences and meetups and workshops as you can. You could organize workshops. Before GSoC, I also did this internship at this other company. I met the okay, no, let's not go there. But I think it definitely helps you if you are meeting new people via going to conferences or meetups or organizing workshops or being a part of workshops. For me, I was part of DjangoGirls workshop. I was a volunteer at PythonExpress, at this foundation called PythonExpress. They organize a lot of workshops at college to teach college students about Python and Linux and Git and everything. So this helped me connect with a lot of people, and in case I'm looking for a job, I can just reach out to those people and ask them if they have a job opportunity in their company. And since they know me, they know that they can trust me, and it would make it easy for me to get an interview at that company. And not just job hunts or interviews. It helps you connect with a lot of good people. If you're going to these workshops and everything, it definitely helps you connect with a lot of good people. It helps you build a network. So by the time you are done with your graduation, I think you'll definitely know what you want to do with your life. Apart from that, yes, try to participate in these internships. If not GSoC or Outreachy or so, there are a lot of online internships. I don't know the names, but if you search, you could look for it. There you could contribute to open source. That is one of the best things that you could do. There are a lot of projects where so if you don't know what project you want to work on, maybe okay, not the right way, but there are a few websites where you can see what open source projects are available, which a newbie can contribute to. There are these websites where you can see the issues that you could fix. They are easy issues to get you started with contributing to this project. I will share them later, but so if you're currently a student, try to make sure that you contribute to open source, and attend a lot of conferences, meet a lot of people. And you could also if you're not already on Twitter, I think you could get on Twitter, because there are a lot of programmers and developers on Twitter, and it will help you get in contact with them. So yeah, using Twitter is good. Did you enroll for any online courses while you were at GEC? How did it help your learning things beyond classroom teaching? Not really. I did not participate in online courses. I used to watch YouTube videos while preparing for my exam, but not really. No, I did not really participate in online courses. I did go to these workshops that were organized by people. The best one that I went to was Python and Linux weekend workshops that were organized by Dharmit. He has helped me a lot with my career. So yeah, so if you have an opportunity to go to any workshops or learn something new, try to do that. That would be awesome. And you could also organize it in the college itself. Since you're a student, it'll be easy for you to organize. You don't really need to worry about scholarship, because there are a lot of student scholarships out there, and there are a lot of organizations that would sponsor you, that would be more than happy to sponsor you if you want to organize something like this. How did you get started with programming? How did you get interested in programming? So for me, like I said, going to those weekend workshops with Dharmit, where he taught us about Python and Linux, that really helped me develop an interest in programming. So before that, all we used to study was C and C++. And I think that was a little too much for my brain. I couldn't grasp a lot of C++. I didn't know where I would use it in my real time. But with Python, it was really easy. It was a really easy language to learn, and I knew that I could build a tiny projects. I have worked a lot with Django. So with Django, you can just run a few commands and you could spin up a website. So it was easy. I could see what I was working on. I could see the output of what I was doing. So that is how I think I got interested in programming. And yeah, I attended a lot of workshops and conferences, and I think that kind of built my interest in programming. I'm still figuring out a lot of things with programming, but yeah. Can you give some names of workshops or meetups that happen online? Online, so currently I think almost all the meetups are happening online because of Corona. So you could just go to meetup.com and put in your interest. If you're looking for a Python meetup, you could just put it, or Docker meetup, or Kubernetes meetup. You could just put in the data, and you'll get a lot of meetups that happen online. I'm not sure of workshops that happen online, because I think it's better if you physically go to this workshop and meet people and physically interact with them. But I'm sure that there must be workshops. So there are a few websites that you can use to get started with programming. There is this website called codeacademy.com. I'm pretty sure you must have heard of it. But it if you want to learn a new language, you can just go into it. You can live code all the data, you can do live coding on that website, and you can learn. So that's a really good website. You can check it out. Okay, next question. Were you friends with other students who were also working on their technical skills? What do you think about influence of being with geeky friends? Okay, I think it definitely helped. So in my college, I was friends. I had this huge group, and I would say it was because of my friends that I got inspired to attend conferences. It was because of my friends that I learned about some new technologies. I knew that, okay, something like this is also out there. I could learn something. I was able to, you must have attended Vatsal's workshop, right? So Vatsal's session. So he was the one who referred me to this internship. Yeah, I think being with all the friends that I was in my college, it really helped me. I was intimidated sometimes because they knew a lot more than me. I still am with a lot of my friends and they know about it, but I think it helps you. It pushes you. It makes sure that you don't go into your comfort zone and stop learning stuff. But yeah, we used to attend a lot of conferences. We used to go to IIT Bombay for Tech Fest and Synapse, and I think we have organized a few workshops in our college. We attended some of them together. It was really good to be around these kind of friends. So yeah, it definitely helped me. But that doesn't mean you should leave your current friends and go make out new go make new geeky friends. Yeah, you could be the geeky friend. All right. Anything else? Okay, I see there are no more questions. So I hope this session helped. I know I was, a little fast, but I have written a few articles, step-by-step articles, which you could, read, and it will give you even more idea about how you could participate in these programs and how you could increase your chances of being selected in one of these programs. So I'll share the link with you, and or maybe later. Just a minute. Okay, fine. I'll just share it right now. So if you, okay, okay. So if you ever want to get in touch with me, you can do this via this website. Just a minute. Okay. All right. So I my website has been shared, so it will have all the details of where you can connect me. But if you contact me, please make sure that you write what you want to, what is the purpose that you're communicating. I mean, make sure that you type what you're looking for from me. Okay. And I am sharing this other website where you will be able to see step by step all the stages of participating into this program, these internships. All right, so I think I'm done. Thank you for listening to me. Okay.